Take me out to California. Take me out.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. On this channel I talk about self-development, positive mindset, and I also share things to do with my family and our journey and all of that kind of stuff. I have been massively lax in uploading anything onto YouTube or on social media, to be honest. I've done my normal posts on Instagram and Facebook, but other than that I haven't really shared anything on stories or anything like that. I've been so crazy busy over the last month, which I anticipated, but I think when you're in the mix of it, sometimes it's hard to really realize how much is going to kind of go to the wayside when you're that busy. So let me share with you some of the things that I have been doing. So in September, end of September, I was, and I don't know if I shared this on here, I did share this on social media, but maybe didn't sort of share my thoughts, but I was invited to be on a panel at the Mums in Business Association Social Media Summit. So they created this fantastic day in, was it Leicester or Nottingham? Leicester? God, it's bad, isn't it, when you don't even know where you've actually been. Leicester, which was for women, mums in business mostly, and it was a whole day of social media learning, you know, what each platform does, and they had experts from each different platform, and then they had people like myself, influencers, or people who had used social media to, you know, increase their reach of their business and that kind of thing. So that was great to be part of, and yeah, I had a whole day of meeting some of you guys who watch this, because a few of you came up to me and spoke to me, and just women who are doing really great in their businesses and trying to learn more and be better and all that kind of stuff. And Mums in Business Association are a fantastic example of that, because these guys reached out to me when they were just beginning, and I'd never heard of them. They were, you know, I get a lot of emails and messages off people, and these two women approached me, these sisters, and said, oh, would you be involved in, and I can't remember the first thing that they asked me to be involved in, but anyway, I got involved in something. I think it was the first book that they put together for women in business, and it might have been that. So anyway, they contacted me, and since that time they have just absolutely soared in their business. And just last week, they were in Forbes. They were featured in Forbes. So it's just incredible. I'm such a champion of people living their life on their own terms and creating something from nothing, and I just think it's brilliant. So massive well done to those guys, and I'm really thrilled that they still get me to be involved. And actually in the last month I was one of their judges for their upcoming awards next year. So last year I was as well, and I spoke at their awards. I don't know if you remember, it was on this channel. I don't know if you remember, just like an old friend. I don't know if you remember, do you remember? And it was on this channel, but they asked me to be a judge again, so I judge it. But as I was going through all of the nominations, I noticed my own name on there. So I was nominated. I mean, I couldn't vote for myself to be one of the people actually proper nominated, but people did put me forward, which was ace. And then I was actually officially nominated for 2 awards through Mums in Business Association. It's nice because they're actually nominated not by, they're nominated by people, you know, the public, I guess, rather than just being picked by one of your peers. So then I was asked to speak at, God, all my names in my head, do you know, right, basically it's half term here in Coventry in the UK, and my daughters are off school. So I just said to them, I'm going to do some videos for, you know, half an hour while you're playing. They're playing schools, but trying to work around your kids, it's challenging. It's really challenging. So I can hear them thumping around and doing stuff and shouting. So if you can hear that, that's what that is. It's not pet elephants. It's my children. So yeah. So then I was asked to speak at the Women Who Awards, the Solopreneur Awards, which I was dead excited to be, because I'm all about, you know, doing your own thing, running your own business, being the captain of your own ship, and deciding what you want to do with your life and on your own terms. It's massive for me. And so I was able to go there and share my story with those guys there, and obviously hear those the stories of those who had won the awards. And I was there all day and really enjoyed it. It was very inspiring, and there's some very important people there, very influential people, and actually people who went a lot of people that were there have gone the more conventional business route rather than you know, side hustle to building an actual business like me, basically, like where I've done lots of different things and then I've actually created a brand. And a lot of these women had gone very conventionally into business. There's just some really important people there. And at the very end of the awards ceremony, also, I thought they then announced that there was another award, that there was a special overseeing, special recognition award, and I was asked on stage to receive my award, which was just so lovely. And the lady who runs the Women Who Award, I mean, she's created an amazing brand over the last few years. And again, I think I was invited to speak at her event a few years ago now, when it had just begun, and really she didn't have a brand as such. It was a very new brand, and I think it's a very important lesson, because you should always be willing to work with people who perhaps at the start of and I'm not necessarily saying this in this case, but when you are more beneficial to the other person than they are to you, because you have no idea what people are going to create. And I think the Women Who Awards and Mums in Business Association are prime examples of that, because both of these businesses and the women that are behind these businesses have soared. And so actually now they are very much, you know, we are both able to help each other. And so to be given an award by Sandra, the lady who runs the Women Who Awards, was amazing, really lovely. I have such respect for Sandra Garlick who runs it. And I also got to meet some really amazing women who had followed me on social media as well, and just talk about what I'm doing with my self-development work, the Happy Me Project online, the Happy Me Project workshops. And I've also been asked to speak at a few more events because of that. So that's really cool as well. I did an NLP course for a week, so I am now a trained NLP practitioner, which sounds fancy. And I had done some NLP before, which is it's neuro-linguistic programming. It's kind of how our minds process things, and it is the art and science of being your best self. Said so by Rebecca Lockwood, who was the trainer that was training me. And yeah, so I wanted to do a proper official NLP, in-person NLP course for some time. I've done a lot of online courses with it and loved it. And I've used some of the stuff in my workshops and some of my coaching stuff that I do. But I just wanted to kind of really immerse myself in it. And so I did that course at the beginning of October. It took me away from home for 5 days, which was really challenging. So for those of you that don't know, my daughter's dad, my husband, died in July 2017. And because of that, my daughters are 8 and 6. Probably more so than most children, there's a lot of attachment stuff surrounding that, and so 5 days away from them was massive for me as well. It's not just for the girls, it's for me too. So that was challenging, but I absolutely loved being able to properly immerse myself in learning, and I'm such a geek when it comes to that stuff, and I love it. And so if you are a person in your life where, even if you're like a fully grown adult like me and you think, oh well, you know, I'm at an age now, I don't need to learn, or I couldn't do that now, go and do it. If there's something that interests you and sparks a bit of excitement in you, then go and learn about it, because there's nothing more amazing than knowledge. Knowledge is power, ultimately. And yeah, so I loved it. So that was great. And then, not necessarily off the back of that, but just sort of side by side with that, I was followed on Instagram by Coach magazine. So I was like, what are these guys? And I had a little look, and this is a brand new magazine for life coaches, success coaches, people who in the self-development world. And what I love about the magazine, it's an online magazine, but you can get a physical magazine as well. Some of the people that they have featured in their first edition were people that I followed on social media and really looked to as, you know, really excellent coaches. And it seems that what they're doing with the magazine is not just, it's not about I guess any old coach will do. It is about, you know, people who are really bringing something innovative and interesting to the table, and maybe a different voice. Those that have practiced their craft and continue to learn and grow. So when the lady that I spoke to from Coach Magazine, and she's excellent, actually we're gonna have to do another meeting because we talk too much, because we were enjoying each other's chat so much. But the magazine, I'm going to be featured in the second edition of that magazine, so that's very exciting, and that's going to be in the new year. So that's something to look forward to, and actually just another thing that kind of, another tick in the box of I don't know, just like being an expert in your field, I guess. So yes, I've been doing loads of bits and pieces. What else have we done? So when I came back from the NLP course, which was a hectic week, I drove straight here, didn't get home till like 8-9 o'clock at night, and then had to get up in the morning to drive to Surrey. So from where I'm from, it's about 2 hours 20, so we had to be up really early. I had to pack a suitcase, and me and the girls we went Saturday and Sunday to a PGL camp with a charity called Grief Encounter. So Grief Encounter are a children's bereavement charity, and they help children who have been bereaved of a parent or a sibling. And it just so happened that the time that we went, and this was just absolute fluke, it was all women with their children, so it was all dads pretty much, other than a few deviations from that, but mostly it was that people were in exactly the same situation as me and the girls. So that was really very helpful, and my intention was, firstly, I had been connected with the charity. They had contacted me through Twitter. I think they said that originally it was Jeff Brazier, who was Jade Goody's, he had children with Jade Goody, the reality star who died of cancer. And we had been connected when Ross died, and so he had mentioned to them that I may be somebody that they should contact. So I had agreed already to be an ambassador for the charity, purely because I knew that we would use their services. And I've always been, as you know if you followed this channel, I've always tried to find the good in the bad and to give back where I can. So I work with a few charities, Might and Hospice, where Ross was cared for, the Brain Tumour Charity, who were incredible during Ross's time having brain cancer, and now Grief Encounter. And again, because I'll be using their stuff, so it's an organic thing, and if I can help other people to be connected with them, then amazing, because there are many people in my situation in this country, and they may not know of the charity or their services. But we did this kind of overnight retreat thing. The girls went and played with other children in the same boat. I got to chat to other women, most of who were very early on in their journey, so their partners had not long died, and so it's very emotional and but good. And you know, it was we had some real conversations, and I'm going to keep in touch with definitely a few of them, if not all of them. We've agreed that we'd like to meet back up again, because everybody shared quite a lot, and just, you know, the challenging things that come with having children that are grieving while you're grieving. And for the girls, they are able to meet other children in the same boat, and that means, you know, they don't have to talk about it, they just have to know that actually it's all the things they feel that those kids will feel as well. And they've already FaceTimed one of their friends from the camp, so that was my intention. So that went really well, and I'm really pleased with that. And yeah, if you are following me because you are in that same situation, then Grief Encounter are a great charity, and they've been very helpful. They have a grief pack they can send out to you, and they also, on occasion where they can and are able to, will go into schools. So especially when there's been a very sudden death, and maybe the school need to be armed with a little bit of something to help them to explain to the other children, Grief Encounter can help with that as well. But they've been great, and the overnight thing was fantastic for us, even though it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. And it was my birthday on that weekend as well, so that was kind of nice and poignant, and the girls loved it, and they made me pass the parcel birthday present, so I had to pass it back before I could open my presents, and they got me some necklaces and did me some amazing pictures and stuff, so that was really sweet. And then they made everybody sing happy birthday to me at about 10 times throughout the day, which first few times you laugh it off, third and fourth time you're like, guys, please, I'm 35, you know, I'm 35, it's enough. That is enough. Although do not for one second think that I hate being 35. I don't. It's a great age. It's a great time to be alive. And I genuinely, I've never felt scared of aging or getting older. I feel the most confident I've ever felt in my life. So, you know, I wouldn't swap it. I'm sure people say this, but I genuinely wouldn't swap it for being 21 again, 25. I wouldn't. Maybe 25 I was a bit more confident, but I think as you go into your 30s, hopefully you settle into your own skin a little bit. You know who you are and you know what you will and won't accept. So all of that is good. And I'm going to do a video on being 35 and what that all means to me. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I just thought I'd do a bit of a catch up because I really haven't been on here and I feel a bit guilty. And some of you might be watching this going, I couldn't give a flying demonetization why you haven't been on here. But some of you, lovely lot, do actually care and ask. And actually, because I hadn't been on, I got loads of messages and asking if I was okay, which was very sweet. And I did have one day this week where I was like, overwhelmed, the house is a mess, I can't get on top of anything. And I had a full-on self-care day where I read and I meditated and I ate good food, I drank lots of water, and felt rested afterwards. I even had a nap in the afternoon, not even bothered about it, not even guilty about it, just napped, just like whatevs. And then this week I'm going to be speaking at the Being Well Festival at the Rico Arena, which I'm really excited about. There's some excellent people going to be speaking there as well, so I don't really know what to expect on this one, but my talk is around resilience, which is my big theme. Resilience, bounce back, how can you bounce back from life's challenges? So I'll try and share some of that with you, if not on here, but on my social media. So if you're not following me on Instagram, Facebook, all that, get on it. What have you been doing? I'm also on TikTok as well now, which I will link below. Don't know what I'm doing on there, but I'm on there, guys, so go and follow me. And I'm of course on Twitter, and where else am I? LinkedIn. I'm trying to be on there on LinkedIn so I can be proper, and because that's what I don't know what that means, proper. I'm on LinkedIn as well, so I'll put all my links below, and you should just go and hang out with me there as well. I might be a different version of me on those different platforms. Who knows? At least then you'll be able to see that I'm showing up. Anyway, I'll catch up with you all soon.
Take me out to California. Take me out.